Hi YouTube, it's Alan Sugano. I'm the president of ADS Consulting Group, and today's topic is about what should be in your disaster recovery plan. So just like your incident response plan, I had another video on that. You want to pretty much have your DR plan in place and not try to figure it out on the fly, or it's probably going to end up bad for you. Or you may not even be able to recover. There's many things you need in your DR plan, at least from, in our opinion. Certainly, first one is your contact list. Like, who are the critical contacts, and include, their email, their cell phone numbers, if they're okay with it, maybe even their home addresses. You're also trying to figure out during a major disaster, who's closer than somebody else is that might be able to need to help out if there's somebody needs to get down to a physical location pretty quickly. Also, network diagrams which include not only your production environment but your DR environment, and just some high-level descriptions on how the failover is going to be handled. Whether you're going to flip IPs on servers when you failover, which we don't recommend doing. We actually recommend either forklifting the subnet, your server subnet, over to your DR site, or spanning that server subnet between production and your DR, which makes it even easier. You can do the spanning server subnet with what's called a layer 2 EPL, Ethernet private line thing, where it respects, you can have that replication line span multiple subnets and multiple VLANs, and it respects VLAN tagging. I'm getting a little technical here, but just this is more like how you would architect something like this. Also, your backup strategy, how the backups, where they're located, what's the schedule, where, if you're doing, and we should be doing offline and off-site backups. Yes, shake your head and say yes, because it's true. So, and where are the off-site backups located? What's the procedure to pull those back if you need them to come back? All that stuff. Also, what your recovery point objectives are. So, in other words, if you had to do a failover, how much data you're going to lose. RPO is often what it's referred to. Also, your recovery time objectives, RTOs. In other words, the moment you say go, failover, how long is it going to take you to be made whole in your DR site. So RTO, RPOs. And then your DR playbook. So that should be just basically a very detailed list of how you do the failover. We recommend that multiple people, not just IT, but certainly a backup to that person, and maybe a backup of the backup, know how to do this failover. Also, we also recommend that if on your failover procedures, they are written from the perspective of somebody that is coming in cold to your environment. So when you're writing these procedures, make the assumption that that person or persons knows nothing about your environment. So in other words, you might go, well, this is so, it's kind of a pain, it's so elementary. But write it from this perspective of somebody coming in cold, because guess what? In a really bad emergency, you may be out of pocket. Your backup may be out of pocket. Your backup to the backup may be out of pocket. And it may be somebody like a consulting firm, like somebody that's sort of technical but really not, trying to figure this out. So write it from that perspective. That's another thing that we see. It's really important. Also, make sure that you have a prioritized list of which resources need to come up first and in which order. And also usually assign like a value of how critical those resources are. So which server should come up in which order, and which ones are the ones where, are the most important to come up first, and then middle importance, and then low importance. So that's kind of our tip. It's certainly a comprehensive list, but it might give you some ideas on what should be in your disaster recovery plan. If you need help formulating a disaster recovery plan that's custom tailored to your company and your environment, you can send an email to info@adscon.com. We'd love to help you out with that. We write up DR plans and test them. That's the other thing. They need to be tested on a regular basis, please, because if you don't do that, what's going to happen is you're going to find out, oh, this is out of date, or oh, that's not working, or something like that, when you really need it, and that's a bad time to find that out, right? So thanks a lot for listening. If you like this content, please hit that subscribe button. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon.